Hey besties, my name is Maddie and welcome back to my channel. So let's talk about dual POV books because the only time I give a shit about a man's opinion are in dual POV books. That's it. Nothing makes me giddier than not knowing it's a dual POV book and I flip to the next chapter and then it has a new name and I'm like, I can't wait. Or when you're like deep into a book and you finally get to see like how he's actually feeling. I have quite a bit to get through just because I love these books so much. So I picked, I was going to say 10, but I think I'm doing a little bit more than 10. And then 5 books that I plan to read this year that are dual POV. So if you like cowboys with dirty mouths, the Chestnut Spring series, I will always recommend these bad boys. And I believe they were all on Kindle Unlimited as well. I'm not quite sure, but they're all fabulous. So Flawless is a bull rider and his like PR manager, something along those lines. Delicious. Love this one. Heartless, single dad, nanny. That's all you need. That's all you need to know to pick this one up. Powerless, I believe, is like childhood friends to lovers or something like that. And he is a hockey player. Yeah, so Jasper is a hockey player. But there's a line in here. I love this one. Reckless is accidental pregnancy, sort of secret baby, and so good. And then lastly, Hopeless is girl from the wrong side of the tracks, and then ex-military golden boy. This one gets a lot of hate, but Bo and Bailey, I absolutely adore these two characters. So I think I rated almost every book 5 stars, and if not 5 stars, they're at least 4 or 4.5 stars. They're all fabulous reads. It's got found family, the friendships that they create through like the girls and through the guys. It's an incredible series, and I'm so sad that it's done. So if you want something not as spicy, I would suggest picking up a Sarah Adams book. All of hers are closed door besides the rule book that just came out, and it's just 1 chapter, and she tells you at the beginning of the book what chapter if you don't want your spice. The cheat sheet is friends to lovers. She ends up like confessing to like a news broadcaster that she's in love with her NFL star childhood friend, I guess, and now it's like a fake dating relationship. Super, super cute. So When in Rome and Practice Makes Perfect are kind of part of the same series, I guess. So When in Rome, so this famous actress's car breaks down in front of his house and he's like, I guess I'll go help her, and then she decides that she just needs a little break from like her wild and popular life, so she decides to stay in Rome, Kentucky, and it's so cute. It's very golden retriever hero, love, love, love. And then Practice Makes Perfect follows the MMC in When in Rome. It's his little sister, and then Amelia from the first book's bodyguard. And she is like the good girl, and no one's really taking her seriously, and she really wants to find a serious relationship. And Will, the bodyguard, is now going to be like, I'll help you, I'll show you how to have fun. And it's so cute. They're just cute little rom-com feel books that are perfect if you're not one that really wants to read like a lot of smut or anything like that. Okay, back on to some smut. The Twisted series by Anna Wong. Full transparency, if you want to skip this one, go ahead. It's fine. He's rich. It's best friend's sister, I believe, but when they say this MMC, Alex, really doesn't have a personality and he's just stone cold, and like you hear about those all the time in like darker books, you're like, oh, that's fine. This guy really is like talking to concrete. But if you're into that, go ahead. He's rich, so there's got something going. But I wasn't a fan of this one. But if you want to, pick it up. If you don't want to, don't pick it up. Who am I to tell you what to do? This, on the other hand, I'm going to tell you to read this one. Twisted Games. Reese Larson lives rent-free up in the noggin at all times. So this is a bodyguard romance. Bridget is a princess, and Reese is now going to be her bodyguard. It's fabulous. I had such a great time reading this one. So Twisted Hate is best friend's brother, and it follows Josh and Jules. Yeah, Josh and Jules. And Jules is like a big party girl. Josh is a doctor or something like that. But Jules is kind of like a reformed party girl in a way, but still a little wild. And they kind of want to get along for everyone's sake, so they decided, you know what, let's do some enemies to benefits type of thing. And it's now their relationship. And it's so cute. I like this one a lot. This one, though. Twisted Lies. I love this one. Christian Harper. I'm obsessed with him. So this follows Christian and Stella. Stella's like a influencer type girl, and Christian is just a very rich, powerful man who does some bad things, but he's so fine in my mind. And they're just such good books, and I just love everything about them. So if you're in the mood for some smutty little, and they are a little bit on the darker side, but not where it's like super, super dark. So I feel like if you're kind of like dipping your toe in the water to kind of darker books, this is a good series to pick up. Look up your trigger warnings before if you want to jump into some darker books. And speaking of a darker author, Penelope Douglas, I think all of their books are dual POV, at least the ones that I have read. And the only two that I have physical copies of are Punk 57 and Birthday Girl. Punk 57 is a high school romance, and it follows Misha and Ryan, and they were pen pals when they were younger because their teachers like mixed up their names or something like that. They promised that they would always write to each other, but they don't know what the other one looks like. They promise never to look each other up on social media, anything like that. And then one day, Misha just stops writing to Ryan, and she's like, what the hell is going on? He ends up going to a new school that she is going to, and he thinks she's been lying to him the whole time, and it is so good. For being a high school romance, I had such a good time with this one, and I love their writing so much, and they're really easy to get into. Birthday Girl follows Jordan and Pike. And okay, listen, hear me out before you make any rash decisions, okay? And just write this book off. So this is ex-boyfriend's dad, okay? But Pike, chef's kiss of a man. His son, whatever the hell his name is, we don't even remember his name. Trash, okay? So you can look past that. The dude was trash. And it's now their relationship, so it's age gap. It's super smutty, super spicy, and it's so cute. I had a great time. I love them. I was like, it's so cute. And it's dark, and not really dark, but it's not like fluffy. But I'm like, it's cute. Yeah, such a good time reading this one. So smutty, so spicy, and I love. The other series that they have is the Devil's Night series, and I believe all of those books are dual POV as well, and they're all good. I think I rated them all 4 stars or 5 stars. So the Devil's Night series has 4 books, and then I think 2 novellas in them. So it's Corrupt, Hideaway, Kill Switch, and Nightfall. All great. It's kind of found family. They're all the guys are best friends, and then it's their relationship with each girl, and I love the storyline. You just gotta stick it out. Okay, stick it out to the very end, because Damon might be questionable at the beginning, but he'll come around. I promise. He will come around. You will change your mind. So I only have one of these for another cowboy romance. So there's Done and Dusted and then Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. They are such cute little romance books. They're really short. You know, they're not thick boys at all. So they're really easy. They're light. They're fluffy. They got some spice in it, but it's not like so much where you're like, Jesus. So the first one, Done and Dusted, is cute. It's found family, and I cannot wait for, I want to say it's going to be the 4th or 5th book. I think he was introduced in Swift and Saddled, and I cannot wait for his book. They're cute little cowboy romance books that you can hear how much the MMC loves the FMC without the FMC knowing. And I just love that in a book. And then 2 more series I have to talk about, but I do not own the physical copies for, are the Windy City series by Liz Tomford. So that is Mile High, The Right Move, and Caught Up. They are all such cute books. I read them all on Kindle Unlimited, so I think they'd still be on there. So Mile High follows Xander and Stevie. Stevie is the flight attendant for Xander's like NHL team, and it's now their cute little romance because Stevie cannot stand Xander's, and she is the only one that's ever like turned him down. So there's like pining in it, and it's cute. It is kind of cringy a little bit, okay, but if you can look past that, it's cute. The 2nd and 3rd book though are hands down my favorite. So The Right Move follows Ryan and Indy. Ryan is the book boyfriend. Like, he is the king at quiet love, and I absolutely love that in a book. I don't care to read about a guy getting a girl flowers like 8 times a week. We don't need that. But if he makes you coffee and then puts it in the fridge because you know you liked iced coffee, like, the small little gestures are just adorable to me, and I loved that book with my entire heart and soul. And then Caught Up is a nanny romance which follows Kai and Miller. So Kai has fired like 12 of his nannies. He cannot stand any of them that he's ever hired, and his baseball coach is like, listen, I have a daughter who is in need for a job for a little bit. Why don't you just hire her? She's already going to travel with me and the team. Easy peasy. They meet. Kai cannot stand Miller. And Miller's like, I am going to break him down. I am going to make him like me. I am going to make, and not in the way like I want him to be mine, but just like I'm a likable person. He's got a stick of his ass. And it's so cute. And I had such a good time. Some of his one-liners though, I was blushing. I was sweating. I was laying on the couch reading and I had to like take the blanket off and I was like, whew. It's like I've been running. But they're so cute. And then the second series I want to talk about is Binding and Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. So I have not read the rest of the series yet because I have absolutely loved Binding and Keeping 13. And you know when you like read a book and you immediately think, wow, I wish I would have waited longer, like not like ran through it so fast or given yourself more time in between books. That's how I felt, and I was like, I want this feeling again, so I'm just going to know I have these books for when I really, really want that 6-star book feeling, because these 2 books were incredible. They are thick and I read them so fast. Like there was no need. I should have taken a break, like done like a chapter a day just so I could like prolong the feeling because it is such a cute story. So this follows Johnny and Savannah. Look up your trigger warnings before going into this book. It is a darker book. Okay, it doesn't look like it from the covers, but it is on the darker side. So just a forewarning. It is set in like a boarding school. I don't know if it's boarding school, prep school. It's set in high school-ish, and it's Johnny and Savannah's relationship. And I'm not going to give you anything else just because there's a lot of stuff that happens in this book that I don't want to spoil you for. Just know that it looks big, but you will read it so fast. The writing's so good. The storyline's so good. It sucks you in immediately, and I couldn't put these books down. So let's do 5 books that I want to read that are dual POV that I've heard so much about that I think you guys should also read because I'm planning on reading them. So, and if you've read any of these, let me know because I want to know if they're worth it or not. 2 have not came out yet, so I don't know if you will read them or not. If you haven't got an arc, let me know, okay? So The Way You Shine by Amelia Chasen, I believe this is a nanny romance. I think it's a little bit of an age gap, but not an age gap where it's like 18 and like 35. I think he's in his 40s and she's in her 30s, I believe, and I think that's really cute. I love that. All I know is it's a nanny romance and it's dual POV. It's Golden Retriever hero, I believe, and the cover is absolutely stunning and so adorable. I love the cartoon cover, so I really want to read that one. Learn Your Lesson by Candy Steiner. So she wrote Love Letter to Whiskey, and if you have not read that book, do it right now. Do it right now. I read it a year ago, and it is such a good book. I had such a good time reading it. I don't know, is that dual POV? I don't know if it is. Now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know if it is, but it was such a good book. I loved it with my entire heart and soul. So she also has a hockey series. I have not read the first 2, but yeah, so Learn Your Lesson is the 3rd one, and it's another nanny romance. You know, I love a child in a book. I think it's so cute. Some people don't like it, but I have such a good time when the child has to be good and the child cannot be the main focus, okay? She or he has to be thrown in there for like comedic relief or like a cute little like subplot line, okay? I don't want to read about just babysitting, okay? I don't want that, but I love when it's like, oh, they're sick and they want the other person. I love those, okay? And if you don't, just read another one and try it again, okay? That's a little rough. That's a little aggressive, I understand. But I love them. And you cannot change my mind. I will always eat up a nanny romance. So I think Learn Your Lesson, I will also eat up. Candy Steiner's writing is super easy to get into as well. So like I think it all depends on how the author writes their stories and if they're easy to get into and fast paced. And I think I will always eat them up if they are that way. So for a darker one, Where There's a Will by Jessie Walker. I believe this is on the darker side. It handles some very, very hard topics. I believe it is also MM. And I just have not been in the right headspace yet to read it. And I don't want to put it on a TBR because I feel like with darker, harder, heavier books, I have to be in the mood. Like I cannot put them on a TBR and see it and be like, okay, I need to read it by the end of this month because then it's putting me in a bad headspace. I feel like I'm rushed and then I feel like it's making me not like a book. So I just have not been in the mood to read something like super, super dark. But I got a bunch of fluffy ones this month, so hopefully if I get through some fluffy ones, then I will jump into this one, but I guess we will see. I want to read the Briar U series by Elle Kennedy. I read the Off-Campus series, loved all of them, and then I just read The Graham Effect, which is her 2nd gen to the Off-Campus series, and it was so cute, and I had such a good time. And I believe Briar U is all hockey romances again, and I think it's like got the found family and all that kind of aspects to it, which I think is super fun in books. And then same thing going with like the found family aspect, the Eden series by Daphne Perry. I've seen this series all over my For You page, all over Instagram, Goodreads, all that stuff. stuff for quite some time, honestly. And I've had them on my TBR, on my Goodreads, like, want to read list for forever, and I just have not picked them up. I don't know why. I know it's like small town, found family. The first one I think is like, what is it? Like a romantic suspense type of book or something like that. I think there's 6 of them. So I want to get into them. I just keep putting books off. But, you know, I had a mental breakdown the other day and I cried because I was like, there are so many books still left for me to read that I'm not going to have enough time in my life for. That's true. But you know what I'm saying? There's just so many books that I want to read that I'm not going to have time to read. And that scares me. That's besides the point, okay? That was just a whoop, off track. I'm gonna reel it back in real quick, okay, guys? So, yes, so those are some books that I want to be reading that have the dual POV, a little trope in there. I don't know, is it a trope or is it a writing style? I don't really know how to word that. I love a dual POV book. You just cannot change my mind about how good it is to read from the FMC's point of view for like 5 or 6 chapters, and she's like, he can't stand me, he won't look at me, he won't do this, blah, 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 and then you get to his, and he's like, I can't keep my eyes off of her, I've always wanted her. I love those so much. So please give me all your dual POV recs, and I will love you forever. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, love yous.